Hello YouTubers, today we're talking about the one thing that is guaranteed to make you faster on the rowing machine, especially when it gets hotter outside. What might that one thing be? Is it more steady state? Is it high intensity pieces? Is it adjusting the erg? Is it changing some settings on the PM5 monitor to give you better splits? No, it is not. It is getting one of these bad boys. Can you tell what it is yet? It's one of these. Oh yeah, so yes, it is in fact a fan to keep yourself cool. Over the past few days I've been doing some workouts. This week really, I got this fan in the mail. Some fan mail, if you will, and it's really made a big difference to my training. I knew that I was overheating and I wanted to see how big of a difference the fan made before I talked about it in general. So this fan, it's nothing special. I'll put some links in the description below to a couple of the fans. I think on Amazon they're selling loads of different types of fan that are very similar to this one. It's got 3 stages, it's plenty of oomph for me in sort of a room and an erg. Maybe you might need something a bit more powerful if you're in a gym or a bigger setting, maybe a couple of ergs. But for me, indoors, this fan has meant that I am not overheating on the erg. We attempted a interval workout with this and it was actually approaching too cool during the 1 minute off rest period in between the intervals. So it's definitely doing its job and keeping me cool. So obviously the fan is there to cool you down, but there's a couple of ways that you can do that. You can point the fan at you, whether that's at the front or the back of yourself. If you do put the fan at the front of the rowing machine, then you have to watch that it's not encroaching on the air that's going into the fan. It can affect the drag factor, the resistance, if you're pushing the air from the fan into this fan. Or you can put it onto your back and point it flowing down as you go towards the cage. Kind of a personal preference, but again, want to avoid causing any problems with the fan. But there's another way you can actually help cool you down, is just point it to the sky and over time just letting it circulate the air and cool down the room in general rather than just trying to cool down yourself. Really, it depends on a couple of things there as well. How much time do you have to let the fan circulate some air? How much air is actually available? And how much of the air is already really hot? If you're in an enclosed room and you just have the fan blowing hot air around, it might be easier just to point it at yourself. Perhaps you have maybe a window, you can place the fan at the window to bring in some fresher air to push into the room, or maybe you push the air out of the room and so you can circulate that air around. But just basically using the fan to cool you down is just an absolutely immense way to improve your scores. And the reason that is because when you're yamming on the erg, your body spends so much energy trying to cool down, especially in a hot environment, especially in a longer piece as well. And then when the fan comes into play, it lets your body cool down externally, therefore taking a little bit of energy away from trying to cool down, and then you can put that energy into the yam. And what is better than having more energy to just yam on it? Oh yeah! So it is a really effective piece of kit that I've been waiting for the last few weeks to actually get delivered to the house, and I'm very glad that I've actually ended up managing to get one. Unfortunately, a lot of the fans on Amazon and throughout the world seem to be out of stock as we approach the summer as well. So if you do manage to get your hands on one, I definitely recommend it. Like I said, a couple of links in the description below. They are affiliate links. I might get a 0.5% or 1% or so if you do follow that link and buy something. But I really do recommend something like this. This is an 18-inch floor fan. It's got different modes. And actually it isn't too loud. It's actually quite quiet. Maybe I'll just do a little bit of a test here. So this is on 1. Not sure if you can hear that there. But if you can imagine, so I'm having a normal conversation, and hopefully you can hear me. 2, a little bit louder, and 3, a little bit louder again. But the erg itself is louder than this fan, and so if loudness is what you're concerned about, if you've already got an erg, then this fan shouldn't be an issue. Obviously, if you get a bigger fan or a more powerful fan, it might run into the loudness issues, but this one should be alright. And like I said, there are so many different options on Amazon or just on the internet that you can purchase from, but I think this one is just getting rebranded by a bunch of different companies, so it just doesn't really matter. If it looks very similar, it probably is the same fan. But that will be it for today's episode, Yamsquad. A quick one just to make sure that people are aware of the difference that a fan can make. I knew the fan would make a big difference, but I didn't realize it would make such a big difference. Even just a relatively small fan like this one doesn't have to break the bank. I think these ones range from, depending on who's selling them, what brand you end up going for, 35 to 50 pounds. Just depends what's in stock and what's available. But obviously you can go up into the hundreds if you want a massive one as well. But as always, Yamsquad, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will see you on next week, on Monday. We've made it to the weekend, oh yeah! For some lovely fan escapades next week, and some more workouts, and some more vlogs, and some more episodes, oh yeah!